Welcome to this video on the NIST Privacy Framework. We will explore how this structured approach helps organizations effectively manage privacy risk within their enterprise risk management strategy. The NIST Privacy Framework offers a holistic, enterprise-wide approach to managing privacy risk. It is voluntary, scalable, technology-neutral, and outcomes-focused, helping organizations integrate privacy into their broader risk management processes. The NIST Privacy Framework, a practical, voluntary tool designed to help organizations of all sizes manage privacy risk systematically. Whether you're building a privacy program from scratch or maturing an existing one, this framework gives you a common language and structure to align privacy with business goals. Unlike regulations that tell you what you must do, the NIST Privacy Framework tells you how to think about privacy risk in a structured way. It's particularly valuable because it focuses on harm to individuals, not just organizational risk, which makes it highly relevant in today's regulatory environment where laws like GDPR, CCPA, and India's DPDP Act center individual rights. The NIST Privacy Framework was formally titled Privacy Framework, a tool for improving privacy through enterprise risk management, version 1.0, and published in January 2020. It was created to fill a gap that the earlier NIST cybersecurity framework didn't fully address: privacy risks that arise not from security failures, but from the intended, authorized processing of personal data. For example, even when data is collected and used lawfully, it can still cause harm. Think of analytics that inadvertently enable discriminatory profiling, or retention policies that expose historical records to secondary uses. The framework centers the individual experiencing harm, not just the organization's operational continuity. It's sector neutral, meaning it doesn't map exclusively to HIPAA, GDPR, or any single law. Instead, it provides a common vocabulary you can overlay onto your specific regulatory obligations, making it especially useful for organizations navigating multiple regimes, like DPDP Act, GDPR, and sector-specific rules. So why adopt this framework? First, it creates a common language. Privacy isn't just a legal or compliance issue. It requires coordination across security, IT, product, HR, and business units. The framework's structured functions and categories give everyone a shared reference point. Second, it's flexible. Whether you're a startup with limited resources or a large enterprise with mature governance, you can tailor the framework to your needs using profiles and implementation tiers. Third, it's regulation agnostic. You're not trying to check boxes for one law. Instead, you're building a privacy program that can absorb new regulations without rebuilding the foundation each time. This is especially relevant for organizations operating across jurisdictions, like India's DPDP Act, EU's GDPR, and US state laws. Finally, it complements the NIST Cybersecurity Framework, CSF. They share the Protect P function, so you can integrate privacy and security risk management rather than running parallel programs. The framework is organized into 3 tiers of abstraction: core, profiles, and implementation tiers. The core is the operational heart. It consists of 5 functions, broken down into 18 categories and further into 100+ subcategories that describe specific privacy outcomes, like data processing is inventoried or data is de-identified. Profiles let you customize the core to your organization. A current profile documents what privacy outcomes you're achieving today. A target profile documents what you want to achieve. The gap between them drives your prioritization and investment decisions. Implementation tiers describe how formalized and repeatable your privacy practices are, from Tier 1, partial, ad hoc, to Tier 4, adaptive, continuously improving. These help you benchmark maturity and set realistic improvement goals. The core is organized into 5 functions. Each function represents a high-level privacy outcome. Identify P is about developing organizational understanding of privacy risk: what data you have, where it comes from, how it flows, and what risks it poses to individuals. Govern P establishes the governance structure: policies, roles, responsibilities, and oversight mechanisms that enable ongoing privacy risk management. Control P focuses on giving organizations and individuals the ability to manage data with sufficient granularity. Think data minimization, consent management, and data subject rights. Communicate P ensures transparency, both internally and externally, about how data is processed, enabling reliable dialogue with stakeholders and individuals. Protect P implements safeguards, encryption, access controls, authentication to protect data from unauthorized access. This function is shared with the NIST Cybersecurity Framework. The P suffix distinguishes these from the parallel CSF functions where overlap occurs. Let's dive deeper into Identify P. This function is about building a foundational understanding of your data processing activities and the privacy risks they create. The first category, data processing inventory and mapping, requires you to create a comprehensive inventory of personal data: what you collect, where it comes from, where it's stored, who has access, and how long you retain it. This is your record of processing activities, ROPA, similar to GDPR Article 30 requirements. Business environment looks at your organizational context, mission, stakeholders, regulatory obligations, and how data processing supports business objectives. Privacy risk assessment identifies risks to individuals arising from data processing. Not just security risks, but risks like unauthorized secondary uses, discriminatory profiling, or excessive retention. Data processing ecosystem risk extends this to third parties, vendors, partners, and service providers who process data on your behalf. Govern P establishes the organizational structures that enable ongoing privacy risk management. Organizational governance and oversight ensures there's executive-level accountability, typically a chief privacy officer or privacy committee, with clear reporting lines and authority. Privacy policies and procedures document how the organization manages privacy risk, covering everything from data collection and use to retention, deletion, and breach response. These should be regularly reviewed and updated. Privacy risk management strategy aligns privacy objectives with business goals and risk tolerance. It defines how privacy risks are prioritized, resourced, and escalated. Workforce roles and responsibilities ensures everyone understands their role in managing privacy risk, from product designers implementing privacy by design to customer service teams handling data subject requests. Control P is about enabling organizations and individuals to manage data with sufficient granularity to address privacy risks. Data processing choices and consent ensures individuals have meaningful choices about how their data is used, whether through consent, opt-out mechanisms, or granular preferences. Data subject rights implements processes to honor individual rights: access, correction, deletion, portability, and objection, aligned with regulations like GDPR, DPDP Act, or CCPA. Data minimization is critical. Collect only what you need, use it only for stated purposes, and avoid excessive or secondary uses. This directly supports privacy by design principles. Data accuracy and quality ensures data is accurate, complete, and up to date, reducing risks of harm from incorrect decisions based on faulty data. Data retention and disposal defines how long data is kept and ensures secure deletion when no longer needed, reducing exposure and compliance risk. Communicate P ensures organizations and individuals can reliably understand and engage in dialogue about how data is processed. Privacy notices and communications requires clear, concise, and accessible privacy notices that explain what data is collected, why, how it's used, shared, retained, and what rights individuals have. Privacy notices and communications requires clear, concise, and accessible privacy notices that explain what data is collected, why, how it's used, shared, retained, and what rights individuals have. Data processing awareness focuses on internal communication, ensuring employees understand privacy policies, their responsibilities, and how to handle personal data appropriately. Stakeholder engagement involves ongoing dialogue with regulators, customers, partners, and advocacy groups to understand expectations and emerging concerns. Privacy incident communication ensures timely, transparent communication when privacy incidents occur, both internally and to affected individuals and regulators, as required by law. Protect P develops and implements appropriate data processing safeguards. This function is shared with the NIST Cybersecurity Framework, making it a natural integration point between privacy and security programs. Data protection policies and procedures document the technical and organizational measures used to protect personal data, encryption standards, access control policies, incident response procedures. Identity management and access control ensures only authorized individuals can access personal data through authentication, role-based access, and least privilege principles. Data security covers safeguards like encryption at rest and in transit, network segmentation, and secure development practices. Maintenance and protective technology ensures systems are patched, updated, and monitored to prevent unauthorized access or data exposure. Profiles are where the framework becomes actionable. A current profile documents the privacy outcomes you're achieving today across the 100-plus subcategories. A target profile documents the outcomes you want to achieve based on your regulatory obligations, risk tolerance, and business objectives. The gap between current and target drives your action plan. For example, if your current profile shows you're not consistently honoring data subject rights, CTP.2, but your target profile requires it for GDPR/DPDP compliance, that becomes a priority investment. Profiles are customizable. You can focus on specific functions or categories relevant to your context. A healthcare organization might prioritize HIPAA-aligned subcategories, while a fintech might focus on consent and data sharing controls. Implementation tiers describe the degree to which your privacy risk management practices are formalized and repeatable. Tier 1, partial, means privacy practices are ad hoc and reactive. You may address privacy issues as they arise, but there's no consistent approach. Tier 2, risk-informed, shows moderate awareness. You conduct risk assessments and make decisions based on findings, but processes may not be fully documented or consistently applied. Tier 3, repeatable, indicates consistent implementation. Policies and procedures are documented, training is regular, and privacy controls are applied across the organization. Tier 4, adaptive, represents continuous improvement. You use predictive indicators, feedback loops, and lessons learned to proactively adapt your privacy program to emerging risks. Not every organization needs to reach Tier 4. The framework recognizes that appropriate maturity depends on your risk profile, resources, and regulatory context. NIST outlines a 6-phase implementation pathway. Phase 1, orient. Identify what's in scope. Systems, data flows, business units. Document applicable legal obligations, GDPR, DPDP, etc., and internal, external stakeholders. Phase 2, create current profile. Map your existing practices against the 100-plus subcategories. Be honest about where you are today. Phase 3, conduct risk assessment. Identify privacy risks to individuals, not just organizational risk. Assess likelihood and impact, then prioritize. Phase 4, create target profile. Define desired outcomes aligned with legal obligations, risk tolerance, and resources. Phase 5, implement action plan. Develop a prioritized plan to close gaps. Assign ownership across privacy, security, legal, and operations. Phase 6, measure and iterate. Establish metrics for privacy outcomes. Review profiles at least annually and update as your program matures. The framework is designed to work alongside regulations, not replace them. For GDPR, all 5 functions are relevant, especially Control P for data subject rights and data minimization, and Communicate P for transparency requirements. For India's DPDP Act 2023, Identify P helps with data fiduciary obligations to maintain records of processing. Govern P aligns with accountability requirements. Control P supports consent management and data principal rights. Protect P covers security safeguards. For CCPA CPRA, Control P and Communicate P are critical for consumer rights and privacy notices. NIST SP 853 Rev 5 includes a dedicated privacy control family, PT family. NIST provides a crosswalk document mapping privacy framework subcategories to SP 853 controls, useful for federal agencies or organizations using SP 853 as a baseline. Here are some common misconceptions. It's not a compliance checklist. Completing a target profile doesn't satisfy GDPR, DPDP, or any specific regulation. You still need to separately identify and meet legal requirements. It doesn't duplicate the CSF. While they share Protect P, 4 of the 5 privacy framework functions have no direct CSF equivalent because they address processing-based harm, not adversarial exploitation. It's not only for large enterprises. NIST designed it for organizations of all sizes. Implementation tiers explicitly recognize that Tier 4 may not be appropriate for smaller organizations. It's not a certification standard. You can't be certified against the privacy framework. It supports internal risk management, not third-party attestation. It doesn't replace legal requirements. It's a voluntary tool to help you manage privacy risk, not a substitute for regulatory compliance. Here are practical scenarios where the framework adds value. Building from scratch? If you're starting a privacy program, the framework gives you a structured starting point. No need to reinvent the wheel. Maturing existing programs. Use profiles to identify gaps and implementation tiers to benchmark maturity. Aligning with cybersecurity. Integrate privacy and security risk management through the shared Protect P function. Multiple regulations. Map each regulatory obligation to core subcategories rather than building parallel compliance architectures. Board communication. Use profiles and tiers to communicate privacy posture in business terms, gap analysis, maturity levels, investment priorities. Vendor risk management. Assess third-party privacy practices using the same framework, ensuring contractual alignment and consistent expectations. To summarize, the NIST Privacy Framework is a voluntary, enterprise risk management tool that helps organizations systematically identify, assess, manage, and communicate privacy risks. Its 3 components, core, profiles, and implementation tiers, provide structure while allowing flexibility. It uniquely focuses on harm to individuals from authorized data processing, not just security breaches. It's flexible and scalable, usable by organizations of any size in any sector, navigating any regulatory regime. And it complements, rather than replaces, existing frameworks like NIST CSF and regulations like GDPR, DPDP Act, and CCPA. You should look at questions like, how could this framework apply to your organization's context? What gaps do you see between where you are today and where you want to be? And how would you integrate this with existing compliance programs like DPDP Act or GDPR? For those who want to dive deeper, NIST provides extensive documentation, including the full Privacy Framework v1.0, the Privacy Risk Model, NIST IR 8062, and a crosswalk to SP 800-53 controls. NIST also maintains a repository of informative references that map each subcategory to relevant standards, laws, regulations, and best practices, helpful for implementation. If you are interested in trying out the DPDP Act provisions, you can use the Consent Manager simulation portal at myconsentmanager.co.in to test your integrations as a data fiduciary or data principal. We recommend the CalPI Quiz app, available on the Google Play Store, to test your knowledge of cybersecurity, the DPDP Act, and other important topics. The app offers various levels of difficulty and interactive assessments to improve your awareness. Thank you for watching this video relating to understanding NIST Privacy Framework. Hope you now know more about this privacy framework. This was the 52nd video in this series released by DPDPAmentor.in. Please visit our YouTube channel, DPDPA Mentor, as well as our website, dpdpamentor.in, regularly to check out other informative resources. Wishing you a successful DPDP Act implementation.